Gambling is a big thing all over the world. Obviously, that includes Australia. And gambling, although most people know what it is, most people only think of it as just casinos and slot machines. But due to the recent generation making gaming massive and constantly growing, companies have found a way to add gambling into games. To start things off, you may want to know, what is a gacha game? Well, a gacha game is a game normally made using a gacha system. And a gacha system is where someone was to summon a character, pretty much, with currency given normally within game, or you could purchase currency to summon even more to get a rarer character, which induces the gambling aspect. Gacha derives itself from Japan, being a small machine that gives you a little toy when you put money into it, aka summoning a character. By that I mean people can spend their own real life money for in-game currency so that they can just summon PNGs of characters that they like. Yes, you heard me right. People spend thousands of dollars just to get PNGs on their screen doing big number. Some of the gacha games that people spend money on are Dokkan Battle, Fate Grand Order, and the new Genshin Impact. Here is a little clip of each of those games in action so you can see what people are spending their money on. Those are just three of the bigger gacha games in the gacha gaming world. There are tons more that earn as much or even more than those games. Also, to put in perspective, those games own over hundreds of millions each every 6 months. Also, the last game that I just showed, that game was only out for 6 months and it already earned over $500 million. You may be wondering why them earning a lot is such a bad thing. It's because a lot of people are spending way too much that they shouldn't be spending and should be saving for something that actually holds value, unlike their games. Okay. See, that's the main problem with gacha games and why I picked it as my main problem. It's because a lot of people, although gambling is bad, they can at least have a chance to earn money back or even 10 times the amount they put in. But by having them spend it on gacha games instead, the lower form of gambling, they don't get anything back. They don't get a dollar back. All they get is just happiness for a moment until they realize how much they've actually spent. One of the main people that I watch for my gacha games, he has a story of how he literally went homeless because of gacha games. Another story I have is of one of my friends. He barely got into a gacha game and barely played it, but immediately got hooked on the characters and immediately spent $200 on the game. About 400 million people played Dokkan Battle alone, or have at least installed the game, and if only 1% of those were from Australia, that's at least 4 million people, and they might have spent maybe, if they've all spent maybe $1, that's $4 million just from Australia alone. I'm going to give one final statement. As someone who has sunk hundreds of hours into gacha games, I'm just going to tell you straight up, do not play them. They are bad. It's bad. They're not fun. They get boring fast. It might be fun, and you might have fun spending a little bit of money on it, but it won't work out in the end. It'll be a waste of time and a waste of money. Thank you for listening to my speech. It was pretty trash, I know. Just a little extra bit. It's like 1 in the morning right now. I'm not way too late.